Good morning. It is time to discover crypto. Today is September 27th. It's my late mother's birthday today, and it is 11:31 Eastern Standard Time. How are you doing today? We got Tim and someone else that ain't Drew's BJ on the ones and twos today. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Great morning so far. Excited about this show. Excited to have BJ sitting in our production seat.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, BJ. BJ, how was Vegas? BJ just got back from Vegas for Magic the Gathering. How was it?
I mean, it was epic. It was fun.
Were you the one hacking the casinos for $100 million?
Yes.
No, but I do have some very funny footage when we went to the MGM. So
Okay.
Okay.
we might do something with that later.
All right. Did you jump into the lion pit and you rode a lion?
Ooh, I don't want PETA coming after me. So no comment.
We gotta watch out for PETA, everybody. All right, guys, make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. We're going to talk about Gensler's speech in front of Congress, what's going on. We got a couple clips from that as well. We also have a breakdown of his speech. We're going to talk about Bitcoin jumping in price. We're going to talk about CCP. We're going to talk about Binance as well, and Ethereum staking as well. All right, let's just get right into it, folks. All right, so we do have, Gary, he's in front of Congress right now. There's a harsh notice to the SEC from a large group of U.S. representatives led by Tom Emmer. Approve Bitcoin spot ETFs immediately, he said. I like to think there was an exclamation point after the end of that as well. Representatives Mike Flood, Tom Emmer, Richie Torres, and Wiley Nickel. What the heck is up with the name Wiley Nickel? That is a cartoon character that's going to shoot you at the saloon, correct?
It's a superhero's, a real name.
I would take superhero sidekick's real name.
Wiley Nickel.
Batman and his sidekick, Wiley Nickel, because Robin fell down the shaft. But no, Wiley, we love Wiley, I guess, maybe, I don't know. They sent a letter to Gensler on Tuesday arguing that a regulated spot Bitcoin ETF would increase investor protection. Congress has the duty to ensure that the SEC approves investment products that meet the requirements established by Congress. Here are our requirements. Okay, crypto ETF fits that. Yeah, I don't know if we can approve that. You're not doing your job, representatives here, or you're not doing your job, SEC. The court specifically addressed the SEC's disparate treatment of spot Bitcoin ETFs and similar funds based on a regulatory approved futures contracts. Representatives point out this inconsistency, saying a spot Bitcoin ETP is no different than a Bitcoin futures ETP. Therefore, the SEC's current stance is untenable going forward. So that was the statement. Okay, then so what did the SEC say in response? Well, the SEC is delaying a decision on ARC21's proposed spot Bitcoin ETF until January 2024. They also postponed the decision on Global X's Bitcoin ETF until October. This isn't saying a no. This is just a classic kick the can down the road here. So SIBO BZX had earlier proposed a rule change aiming for approval and listing of the ARC21's ETF. Although they submitted April 25th, it was not published for comment until May 15th. They then designated a longer approval period on June 15th. Well, you fast forward to today, they're expected to approve or reject within 181 days or by November 11th. However, the regulator said in his current filing, it is allowed to extend the approval deadline by an additional 60 days. So not only do they get to increase the amount of time. Hey, guys, we need 180 days. All right, we're on 179 days. Oh, yeah, I need another 60 days. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. As such, they have now postponed until January 10th, 2024. Many asset management firms submitted similar filings for ETFs after BlackRock submitted its own application in mid-June. However, ARC submitted considerably earlier. They can only delay until January of next year, where it can delay some of these other ones until March of next year. But then you know what happens on February 28th? Wait, is next year a leap year? February 29th, you know what's going to happen? Oh, we need another 60 days. So even though you're seeing March 24 is the latest deadline there, I wouldn't be surprised if March 2024 gets increased. If I have a video clip from the SEC hearing, chat, they can hear it, right? The audience can hear.
Yeah, we can play around. Or if you send it to me.
Okay, well, it's I have to hit refresh here. This is breaking. I haven't had time to send it to you. This is just getting like uploaded, within the last hour. This one, Matt Gates here. We'll just share this one. This is happening now. Will we know? Do we know?
Let's try.
Let's try. All right. Hopefully, it doesn't blow your eardrums out.
Yeah, I don't got anything.
No, there's nothing.
There's nothing. All right, guys, we tried. All right, we might try to figure it out by the X minute towards the end there. I do want to share some of that. SEC chairman's speech text has been published. What does it say about cryptocurrencies? What time will it start? Well, it has started right now. It is going on right now. It's still happening, so we might still have some more breakdowns. We might break it down tomorrow morning stream as well. We might cover it on the 5 p.m. show. Well, in the published statement, Gensler referred to the lawsuits he filed against Binance and Coinbase, which are closely followed by the industry, and said, while I'm happy to discuss the SEC's work, I will not be able to comment on any active and ongoing litigation. Well, that's just a good way of getting out of talking about Binance or Coinbase. I don't know, slap them with a frivolous suit. Then someone asked me about Brian Armstrong. Oh, man, I'm all no comments here, man. Why? My hands are tied. My hands are tied. I would love to give you a comment. I just can't. It's an ongoing litigation here. And while there's nothing new in the statement of the SEC chairman, it seems that we'll face criticism from McHenry, chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, for his approach to regulating the crypto sector. I can only imagine if we didn't have some of these good actors, the McHenrys, the Emmers. I do feel that they're somewhat constrained by the Department of Justice and the Treasury Department.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine if it was just a committee of Warrens, how bad it would be.
Oh, it would be pretty rough, DZ.
Of Tim Warrens.
Who else would be a Warren you'd be referring to?
Yeah, no other Warren.
Yeah,
right?
it's really me. No, DZ, I think that there's no part of any of these congressmen to think that they're actually going to be able to get Gary to do what he wants to do. But I think that's what's interesting is most people are in the boat of saying Gary Gensler is clearly delaying this for a specific reason. He is doing something fishy behind the scenes. He has no reason to keep delaying it. And so the pressure we're getting from Congress here, from Emmer and the others, I think it's what they're working on. They know they're not going to succeed in actually getting him to approve it. But with all of this pressure, it puts a lot of that. It really works to expose whatever it is that is keeping Gary Gensler. Is it BlackRock? Is this whole thing manipulated so that BlackRock gets the first ETF? Is it Elizabeth Warren? We know Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler speak quite often. Is she working behind the scenes? Who is it? And I think these congressmen know, hey, we got to do this. We got to get a press release out, and we're going to put pressure on what's really happening behind the scenes to come out and expose who Gary Gensler actually is.
Exposing him for the crook that he really is. We have Sawtooth Hiker driving to Vegas.
Okay.
And checking the scene that BJ was just at. What is going on with that? No, he's going there for the CNFT con. Make sure you come up, say, hey, I'd like to get a picture with you, Hiker. Let's just see. Darth, thank you for the respect and the support right there. Thank you very much. What are you going to say, BJ?
Well, I was going to say with BlackRock, I need to pull up more information, but they made a statement about a week ago outside of crypto that they're looking at how the GDP and the GPI are completely separating. So they're basically setting up, trying to manipulate the bond markets and everything else. So like they're pulling a lot of strings right now. I'll try to pull that up on the basement with all the articles.
Card for Coin brings up a good point. Gary's delaying it because they're in active litigation with Coinbase, which is tied up as a custodian for the U.S. government. The government uses Coinbase, but let's, at the same time we use Coinbase to sell the Bitcoin that we confiscate from criminals, let's just go ahead and litigate against them at the same time. Make it make sense, U.S. government. Make it make sense. All right, one more thing on Gensler here. Gensler accused of twisting the facts ahead of Congress hearing. I can also see him twisting his spine and joints as he walks backwards up the stairs like a spider. Renowned lawyer and digital assets enthusiast Bill Morgan thinks the SEC would vary its argument on the ongoing issue of digital asset classification. According to Morgan, the SEC will argue a broader issue that any sale by an issuer of an asset without inherent value is an investment contract. He expressed his opinion based on what he identified as a subtle change in their original position. According to Morgan, the regulator shifted his argument to say that most crypto tokens are subject to securities laws. He highlighted this in the SEC's release testimony for Gensler. A portion of the document said, given that most tokens are subject to securities laws, it follows that most intermediaries comply with securities laws as well. He says the SEC lost the narrow issue of whether the token is a security. That in the Ripple case, when making it clear he is not seeking appellate review, and the SEC further added deliberately that the token itself has no inherent value. So he's basically saying, they're walking back the statements. Now, it used to be only Bitcoin and everything else is maybe ETH, it's a shrug, but now it's they're leaving themselves open to more and more coins, essentially being listed, as something that me and you can trade like normal human beings. Doesn't have to be related to a 1934 Orange Grove. What do we have? We have Kelly on the charts, right? I think
we
I
do.
can hear this.
We do.
All right.
Let's get him.
Kelly,
what's
going
up,
on,
everybody?
man? Hey, man, you got whoa, screaming a little loud. We got BJ on.
I was about to say.
I already see him tweaking it.
Forgot I was loud.
Chat was mad at you yesterday for yelling at them.
I forgot I got to bring that Barry Manilow voice. So how's
Oh, no,
everybody
don't
doing
do
today?
the Barry Manilow, or is it the Barry White?
Barry White. It's definitely not Barry Manilow.
Yeah, Barry White with the chocolate salty balls, right? And that what he was known for?
I have no idea.
That and being a Scientologist. You don't. Oh, Chef, South Park. Tim was a little sheltered. He wasn't
Yeah.
exposed to early South
Yeah, that
Park.
show was a no-no for my mother.
Yeah, that was a no show.
Yeah.
So
Wait a minute.
first
I like
off-
that. I like that. Wait a minute. Hey, you see Tim in the corner right there? I don't know if you can see it on your screen.
Oh,
Kelly.
yeah, I am in the
Oh.
corner. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Hello.
you are.
BJ, did you literally just do that?
No comment.
No comment. That's
no
good.
comment. He built it like 4 months ago. He's the only one who knows where the button is.
So stuff going on in markets. What's going on, right? We want to talk about Bitcoin. I think that's what we're here for. Let's do
talk
it.
about Bitcoin. Let's not talk about camera angles here and camera
First
boxes.
things first. Regardless, if you're watching any YouTube channel out there, I don't care if it's cars, I don't care if it's crypto, but if you're getting some engagement watching it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, join us here in our community. This is all about crypto content, empowerment, and encouragement. So let's talk about what's going on the charts. I think a big move is on the horizon. Is it going to be up or down? I think in reality, we need to stop caring, especially if we're 4 hour on the 4 hour chart or 1 hour chart. It shouldn't really matter, especially if you are looking at where Bitcoin, the trajectory of where Bitcoin's going. It is going up over time. In the small time frame, yes, we are going to get some volatility both to the upside and downside, but we need to stop caring when it's going down and being excited when it's going up. We want to welcome that volatility, and there are signs in the chart that are showing that a big move is coming, and it is lined up. It does not say direction, but down here on the bottom, this chart right here, this indicator is essentially the BBWP. It identifies when volatility is very low. This does not say up or down. This says a big move is likely coming because there's been a compression in volatility, just like everything in cycles. This is important. Price goes up and then comes back down. Volatility goes up and then gets compressed. We have stochastics get very overbought and then they get oversold. So we want to pay attention. Look at this in conjunction. These blue marks here, you'll see. If you find on the chart, each blue marks happen. They both show upside downside action coming each time. So in this case, low volatility as we're consolidating, price action exploded to the downside. This side, low volatility, price action exploded to the upside. This case, downside. Again, we're getting that blue signal, BWP, which is essentially when you're looking at the Bollinger Bands, when they're very constricted, it's suggesting that there's about a push outside of the norm of essentially when you're looking at Bollinger Bands, what you're really seeing is a 20 simple moving average and then 2 standard deviations, both above and below. Let me actually pull this up. Quick little lesson for everybody, just so you understand what you're looking at when it charts. You have the 20 average, and then you have these bands both above and below. And these are calculated looking at the last 20 period, whether on the chart, the 4 hour chart, whatever, how many candles you're looking back, 20 candles. And then what is the 95% likelihood or the average within 2 standard deviations, or a lot of words. Essentially, when this is constricted, price action tends to break it and expand the volatility. We're kind of getting to the zone below this volatility as a move is coming. This is not telling me, this price action telling me an upward move is coming. In fact, we got rejected right at this 20 moving average right here. So what do? We want to look at this and say, okay, if I'm trying to stack the probabilities in my favor, so I'm making smart moves, I don't care if it goes up or down. I just want to be either in or out of position, or we forget we can just be patient. If you bought somewhere up here, don't be mad that it's down here. Look at the opportunities on the downside. Now, where do we look? Well, we have this rising level of support. Let's go ahead and turn off the Bollinger Bands because it's getting a little noisy. Bollinger Bands, the support that's rising right here is the kind of target that I'm looking for if I'm trying to maintain any sort of opportunity for buying any longs. Does this hold? And this level is right at basically just shy of $25,000, which is proven. Look right here, right here, right here. This is the key level. We've been consolidating above it. I'm still expecting at minimum, I'm not saying we have to come down here to 21.6, but I'm still expecting at minimum a move to take us into this territory to see what the resolve of the bulls is. Now, Is it a bothersome thing for this to come down? No, because if we come down here on the 4-hour chart, I just want everybody to notice. Everybody said, oh, we're pumping, we're pumping. This is not a pump, everybody. This right here, this is a pump. This is a pump. This is a pump. This is a trap for chumps. I do not want to be a chump. I don't want any of you to be a chump. Nothing's changed. Pump up, immediate high volume sell off down. This is on the BitLab trading stack. There's a high volume buy and sell. So this is basically liquidity traps trying to trigger your emotions. And they take you out right here, bring it right back down. This is telling me continued lower highs that we are going to test into this zone, $25,000. Now, long term, I don't mind again if it's going down, because if we look at this on-chain metric, this is a reserve risk. This essentially basically the price divided by the HODL bank. How strong are the long-term holders? We see over time these zones and basically bear market bottoms or good opportunity zones, low risk versus reward, high reward. These have proven to be excellent times for buying of Bitcoin. And we've been hovering in this zone. It's just giving you all the opportunity in the world if you don't trade it away, if you don't fail to use risk management. So right now, price goes down. I don't mind. We can also see the what do you call it? The exchange net position change. This is looking like there's less coins coming off of exchange. I'm watching like a hawk to see if this sort of transitions into a period like this where coins come onto exchange, which will result or typically can result in forecasting sell pressure coming into the market. And this is trending that direction. So does it bother me? No. Why? Because I zoom out and I see we are in a great opportunity zone. But that's all I got. It's not
Kelly,
yet
you missed
super
something,
buy
buddy.
zone.
You missed something. Remember this morning, we're supposed to look at the DXY. Did you end up ever pulling that up?
Oh, yes. I totally forgot.
He's on it.
Right here.
Snapping his fingers.
Listen, this is important stuff. This is important stuff.
DXY,
10-month high, correct?
dollar index.
12,
Look at
I
how
think.
high. I mean, if we look at this like right here, if we take this across, just move our mouse across.
What is that date right there?
November 2022 is the last time we were at this price. So,
wow,
I mean,
10-month
look at
high.
this rounding nature. And this, when the dollar index is going up, this is signaling that there's, it's basically becoming more and more risk off the higher. And we also see, I talked about it yesterday, NASDAQ breaking down below this level, a new low. We also see the S&P ETF head and shoulders breaking down and signaling a little bit of continuation here. Dow index head and shoulders, I mean, just going down. This is not signaling ultimate capital flow into space for risk assets. And as much as I want Bitcoin to go up, I'm more concerned with making sure I am in the best position possible for the bull run. And that means the data says I need to be cautious for longs, but you can take advantage of some shorts, but just practice your risk management and healthy strategy. But that's all I got. Barry White out.
All right, Barry White out. The chef of BitLab is out. Not meth chef, not like that type of lab, folks, although there is a little connection there.
Yeah.
No, he was saying the DXY is at a 10-month high. DXY, you just want to give him a one-sentence explanation.
It's the dollar index, comparing it against other currencies, other assets. It's
They like
going
to call
up.
it a basket of currencies for some reason. I don't know why. What is this aforementioned basket? Is it like got coins and paper bills in there?
Well, no,
And
it
some
mostly has
eggs.
blueberries and other a sultry of fruits.
Okay, so it's the dollar's strength relative to a group of other currencies. They don't have the Russian ruble on there. Maybe not the digital yuan, or the yuan might not be on there. Maybe it is. I'm not sure.
not 100% certain what all it's compared against. I just know, and just historically, Bitcoin and crypto trades inversely. Risk assets trade inversely. There's another chart he didn't talk about, but if anyone is sitting here wanting the Bitcoin chart to go up, there's just some things that are not looking good for it. Not only the Dixie chart, the oil chart.
So the
oily boys.
A lot of people think oil is going to get back up over $100 a barrel. Guess what that means? That means everything economically gets more expensive, not just your gasoline, but the food will get more expensive because the delivery gets there. Inflation continues to go up. People continue to freak out more about recession. They take their money off of risky assets. Bitcoin's chart alone kind of is hinting at a fall in price. I've been saying this for a while, DZ, but even more so, you look at those two big charts, oil and the Dixie. It's not looking like the next couple of weeks are going to be great.
Go ahead, BJ.
The Dixie is a basket of 6 different things. It's the euro, the UK pound, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, Swedish kroner, and the Swiss franc.
Franc. Okay. Okay, good stuff there. Yeah, the DXY, yeah, the good old basket of currencies.
No loonies and toonies for Canada.
No loonies and
God,
toonies for
yeah.
Canada there. No, not today. Not today.
No.
All right, well, let's talk about Bitcoin's jump, ignoring the DXY's rise to a 10-month high as XRP eyes the death cross. We looked at the death cross yesterday, so we might skip over that part. Bitcoin rose 2% to 26,750, even as the dollar index, which gauges the greenback's value against the major currencies BJ just listed, reached a fresh 10-month high of 106.48. I do want to say this about the oil. Seeing the 106 reminded me of oil's price.
Mhm.
Gareth Soloway is coming in bearish on oil, saying it's not going to
Not gonna get to that
Yes, it's got a
$100?
lot of strong resistance. I saw some diagonal lines on a chart, folks. So, I'm just going
You got to
by
watch
that.
out for those lines.
You got to, well,
They're scary.
72% of the time will play out on certain things, so you never know. A rise in the dollar index usually has a bearish impact on risk assets, including cryptocurrency. So despite DXY 10-month high, we have Bitcoin still deciding to climb. Coin Analyze shows that the early rise from 26 was accompanied by an uptick in the spot market cumulative volume delta, is a sign of net capital inflows or net buying in the spot market. The CVD and the stablecoin margin and coin margin futures contracts led the market higher. So we got stable coins and we got some institutional money coming in, baby. That is a good thing. All right, I've talked about Marathon Digital before. It's trades under Mara. Bitcoin miner Marathon reportedly mines invalid Bitcoin block. It was invalidated due to a transaction ordering issue. Here's a bunch of these Antminer 9. I'm not
Was
sure.
this Ethereum?
Antminer Bitcoin mining rigs displayed at Consensus 2021. Marathon is mined an invalid block, according to several developers, miners, and researchers. They wrote that Marapool had a transaction ordering issue. This was later confirmed. Here you see they mined an invalid block. They inserted the block on 9 out of 9 nodes. Frequent invalid blocks being relayed on testnet in the last hours here. The invalid block was rejected by other node operators. The block contained a transaction that was ordered incorrectly with the spending output transaction. Thus, the block was invalidated, according to Bitmet research there. I'm not sure on what the terminology of block. If you mine a block, is that just a section of the Bitcoin block rewards, or is that an entire block reward? But every 10 minutes, was it 6 Bitcoin is released, right?
Something like that.
6, and we cut to 3 1/4, 6.5, right? No, 6 1/4, and then it cuts to 3 1/8. So
Yeah,
6, what's 6 times 25K? That's $150,000.
that'll do.
I don't know if it's the entire block, but if it was, I would not enjoy not having a fake block of 155K of Bitcoin. It's not real. Let's see. Hey man, I do want to try to get a Tesla at some point. DZ sold the 4.2 Chainlink. I want to try to get a Tesla. Truck.
Would you want to take that on trips, or you just want to drive it locally? Because do you trust on a road trip that there's going to be the right stops for you to keep charging up, and then how long you have to stay at those stops to charge up? I would like a Tesla too, but the one thing kind of holding me back is my wife and I like to go on trips and we like to drive, and there's definitely areas of the country that you start to get a little sketchy on. Can you make it to the next spot?
I wouldn't drive further than Wilmington and back, so it would be fine for that.
Well, Rich Builds, if you like that YouTube channel, he modified a Tesla that would actually fix that problem.
Where you put a
What is
gas
that?
engine in it?
He put a V8 in it.
Okay, yeah. I saw, was it Ross Creations? He brings his Tesla in for an oil change. That one was
Have you seen the video of people like at gas stations with a Tesla looking? They pull the gas thing off and they're looking at the car and they're looking for the flap somewhere. And
I saw that, and then on a related note, I saw the lady checking the baby in her crib, and then sees herself in the room,
and freaks out.
and she thought it was an intruder, and she was the intruder because it was like a 10-second delay. That was a good one too. Like sees the person come in, like, who is it?
Goodness
All right,
gracious.
let's talk about. That's my reaction when I see the biggest. Oh, you know what we didn't? We just totally skipped over crypto market. How did that happen?
Because we're irresponsible.
Because
while
we're
that happens.
irresponsible. We're irresponsible.
Yeah.
Well, let's look
Irregardless.
at the crypto market, folks, real quick. You know what? I was just so excited to talk about Gensler and
It's true.
Gary. I wanted to talk about my bald brother there. Well, we are going to go ahead and hit refresh because we're suspiciously bullish. It was 1.8% to the upside here. Let's just see. Yeah, it is since fallen, folks. Take me home, CoinGecko. Yeah, we are now only up 0.4%. Bitcoin dominance coming in, same as it was yesterday, 47.1. Gas coming in at 18 Gwei. We have Bitcoin up 0.5%, Ethereum up 1%. a lot of this almost doesn't seem accurate. Okay. I was seeing too many 5s and 1s right there for me to trust it. We have Dogecoin up 0.1, Cardano down 0.5%. It must be right if they're saying Cardano's down. Solana's down 1.4%. Bitcoin Cash up 6.5%, and Chainlink still melting faces, $7.61, up almost 4% today. Feeling pretty good about my Chainlink buys live on stream 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. I can't remember. All right, now we're going to look at the biggest gainers. Hint, it was the biggest loser yesterday. Hint, it's also one of DZ's coins.
Wait, are we talking about Lizzo?
I don't want to make fun of people's weight. I used to be a chubby boy. I used to be I was poor and chubby, which is always a fun. Yeah, I look back, I was like, how and why? And I would just eat a lot. I started cooking ramen packs at like 7 years old. And so I would get home and I would just be crushing ramens and Little Debbie cakes. So once I became self-sufficient as a second grader, I just started shoveling food. Couldn't help it. So I was poor, but I was eating like back in the day, 5-cent ramens, 10 cents. So, I mean, you could be kind of poor, but you can still get your calories. You know?
I would say the way the U.S. is set up, it's actually the poorer you are, the higher the possibility of you being overweight is.
Certainly the higher the possibility you have high fructose corn syrup, which is BJ's favorite ingredient.
I've seen him drink it straight from the bottle.
I've seen him shoot it up anyways. We're not going to talk about that. We don't want to talk about people, doing drugs here.
In between.
All right, let's, or people rolling one, but that takes us to the biggest gainer, which is roll a bit here. Roll Bitcoin is up 8.9%. Hit the like button if you rolled a bit today. We have Maker up 7.5%, Bitcoin Cash up 6.5%, Radix up 5.6%. Terra Luna Classic up 5%. And then after the top 5, we get into Chainlink, eCash, Synthetics Network, and Bitcoin SV here. Ethereum Classic also moving up. So a lot of these older coins you see on Robinhood 2 years ago moving up today. All right, now we look at the biggest losers, and then we're going to jump ahead to the
Don't show a picture of me again, DC.
Oh, I would never do that. No, it is Nexo losing the most here. It is down 4.1%. And then we have Algorand down 3.3%. And it wouldn't be a day of losers without one of DZ's coins, at least cracking into the top 5, top 3, if not the biggest loser of the day. And yes, I am a holder of Immutable X. Immutable X is down.
Hey, but they had a good
2.9.
week last week.
Yeah, they are still actually up for the 7-day. They're up 4.5%. So, not too bad.
All good things come to an end and have to retrace a little bit, but it's still up overall.
Maybe a healthy retracement.
Yeah.
Like my forehead here.
What else do they
That's
have really
beyond
going
healthy
before
retracement.
Gods Unchained?
What about Gods Unchained?
What else do they really have besides that? I mean, that game was phenomenal.
They have worked with Gary Vee doing some stuff in the past, but yeah, I mean the gamification explosion that was going to happen. We're going to be, the blockchain for crypto gaming. It just really hasn't panned out. That it seems like they have to make the games in house, similar to Nintendo in the 90s. They didn't have a bunch of game makers knocking down their door trying to give them the next Halo, the next Metal Gear Solid. So they looked around and you said, you know what? Tim, we're going to release Super Mario Brothers World, and we're going to crush everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. But they did buy Game Freak, which gave them Pokemon. So, hey, that was a good one. Did you watch the Tetris movie?
Not yet.
Good stuff. I started my second anime ever. I'm not counting Dragon Ball Z. My first anime, Death Note. Thoughts?
Not an anime guy.
Thoughts on Death Note?
I haven't watched that one.
Death Note's great. I'm starting One Punch Man.
I watched my friend made me sit down and watch One Punch Man because he said it was going to change my life. And I'm the same person.
Well, I'm now doing 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, and running 10 kilometers a day. So, it's
preparing for that one punch.
You need Mangushu Tensei? It's jobless reincarnation. I'll tell you nothing about it.
Okay.
Watch it.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. It is time for us to talk about the CCP. Say hello to the CCP watching at home. And if you got a Ring camera, go ahead, turn over your shoulder, wave to the CCP. Hey, CCP. You got that webcam that the light's not on? Go ahead, wave to your webcam. Say, hey, CCP. All right, billionaire Evergrande founder reportedly placed under police surveillance in China as fears of collapse grow. He was the chair. He is the founder, former CEO, and I believe former CFO as well. Bloomberg reported he's been put under police surveillance, raising fresh doubts over the future of the property developer amid mounting fears of a collapse that would send shockwaves through China's beleaguered property sector and the wider economy. Many are saying globally here. Hui Ka Yan, I think his name is here. He was the chairman, like I said, former CEO here. known as Jiyin in Mandarin, was taken by police earlier this month and is being monitored as a designated location, maybe the same place Jack Ma of Alibaba Group was at. It's not clear why he's been placed under residential surveillance. Maybe because, hey, you're kind of giving us a bad name here. All right, Evergrande, which he founded in 1996, rode China's real estate boom and held firm as one of the country's biggest property developers for decades. Their growth was stellar, fueled by heavy borrowing, and his sprawling empire expanded in areas as varied as electric cars, bottled water, streaming service, and a football team. Sounds like Donald Trump or something there. Just missing the airlines there.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, and Mar-Lago, $17 million valuation.
Yeah, you gonna buy it?
I mean, I probably get some money up.
I've seen a lot of people making offers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's a good deal.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm just a 1 comma guy. Just a 1 comma club. Are you in the one? I'm not in the 2 comma club.
I'm not in a 2 comma club, no. But yeah, okay. 1 comma that's a large area. For some reason, I think it was like 1,000. But yeah, I guess you can get some other figures in there.
Comma.
Chameleon.
Yeah. Junie Lee, thank you very much. I like your PFP. I like it a lot too. All right, let's see. DXY is on fire. Yeah, we're talking about that 10-month high.
Yeah.
Pretty close to that 12-month, we passed that.
And what's even worse about it is it's getting levels of saying it's like overextended to the upside, but it keeps smashing through them. And if you guys go back and look at charts, bull markets and bull trends are when you see rejection things, levels of resistance and levels of saying you're overbought get smashed. Same thing's happening with oil. I do agree with Gareth Soloway. Oil is, I think, closer, but I think the Dixie has at least it's going to get up into like 107, 108 range.
Okay.
Does it crack back to 110? We'll have to see.
All right, the oily boy is going to be happy if that thing goes up. We'll see how that goes. I love Chick-fil-A, but wish they had Burreel bread. I don't know what that is. It was in the DZ likes. It talks about there's the 40 man-made chemicals in a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
50 different compounds, 40 of them man-made.
But it's pre-blessed.
It's pretty good.
You don't have to pray over it before you eat it. You can eat it right out the bag. The other restaurants, you definitely need to pray.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A has been avoiding the cancellation culture. They did a good job.
Yeah.
You know what it was? People were like, I'm not giving up the sandwich, man. I'm just not going to do it. I don't care. All right. Let's because when it impacts people's lives, that moral compass can go out a window.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about $3.2 billion. That was his net worth, according to Forbes real-time tracker. That is today. However, in the past, just about 6 years ago, it was $42.5 billion when he was ranked the richest person in all of Asia, even more than Jack Ma. Although I think Putin and Xi Jinping are probably worth hundreds of billions. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just, giving it the old eyeball test, as Penguins would say. JP Morgan CEO warns of rising energy prices and geopolitical tensions. And CNBC TV 18 interview. This is back on still on the CCP thing here. He's engaged in a comprehensive interview here. And during this conversation, he cautioned that individuals and businesses should anticipate climbing oil and gas prices, kind of what Tim was saying here, as well as increasing interest rates. He emphasized that his primary worry at the moment is ongoing geopolitical climate. Well, we'll see how that goes. We do have an election season coming up in America. Will they ratchet back, I don't want to say wartime efforts, but just global tensions, or will they increase global tensions? Because it's like, oh, you better choose my side because the other side's crazy.
No, and it's another thing. Like, there's a lot that could go on here. There's a part of me that believes a lot of things could get better because of JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon saying this. Also, I think I was listening to Ivan on Tech this morning, making a great point. Election season is next year, guys. You do not want to be responsible for the economy going into a shambles. We also heard Jerome Powell say that the expectation is we really shouldn't see a recession until 2027. Well, if they can keep kicking the can down the road, if they can actually, if the current administration convinces Jerome Powell to at least stay paused or even get a couple rate cuts in this year, that's going to be a nice little catalyst for them to say, look, we're fixing everything. What you don't want is stagflation, where the interest rates stay high, but inflation keeps getting out of control. It's one of those things that's like, hey guys, let's lower the interest rate, let inflation keep going up, but at least we're now making it easier to borrow money. We're helping the economy, and stagflation doesn't happen. But then, of course, that will impact heavily in 2027, whether the president is the current sitting president or a new president. There's gonna be a lot of mess to
Yeah,
clean
and there's
up.
also going to be a lot of stagflation this winter as people have those inflatable reindeer on their front yards.
Yes.
And then they'll have to inflate the stags.
True.
So it's another form of stagflation.
It's the worst
I'm sorry,
kind.
guys. That was a bad one.
I will stop this stream.
That was a bad one.
When do you
wasn't
put up your decorations?
it? So I have the Halloween out stuff already.
Okay.
I would
That's
like to
acceptable.
wait till November 1st. Some people say
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. I think that, I think you get out a little sooner.
I'm a day after Thanksgiving kind of guy.
Day after that, that's more normal. I
Yeah.
think. How do you feel about it being in Walmart's already?
That's a little much.
It's a little much.
But you know what else is in Walmart's?
Pudgy
on-
Penguins.
Oh, but
Pudgy
that's we're gonna save it.
Penguins.
That's later. That's
Yeah.
later.
Okay,
That's
okay.
later.
And
That's later.
did Joel get one?
No, they're not. They're not actually. That's a good spoiler. They're not in Walmart yet. At least
Well,
not
Hannah's
here.
got one on her desk.
Yeah, but she bought them on Amazon, so they're now I think getting dispersed to Walmart's. But that's later on the show.
All right, are we
jumping
gonna
ahead.
knock up a truck like The Sopranos?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
To get the penguins.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit Binance here. Binance Sale. Binance sells Russian unit to day-old COMEX and exits the country. They're set to fully exit Russia with the sale and will have no ongoing revenue split, is said on Wednesday. They agreed to sell the entirety of its Russian business to COMEX as it looks to fully exit the market over compliance concerns. As we look toward the future, we recognize that operating in Russia is not compatible with Binance's compliance strategy as we try to comply with the onerous rules of the West. It was reported earlier this year that Binance was facing a Department of Justice inquiry into whether Russian customers were able to access the exchange in violation of U.S. sanctions related to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In August, the firm said it was cutting ties with sanctioned Russian banks. It's one thing to cut ties with a Russian bank. I don't think we should be cutting off Russian citizens from Bitcoin. I don't think any exchange is doing the right thing. I understand what's happening. The Treasury Department of Justice leaning on them. So I guess this message is less for the exchanges and more for the Treasury Department. Stopping a Russian's access to Bitcoin is tantamount to violence. And you're committing violence against these people because a lot of people, this is how they can leave their country with their net worth. This is how they can leave their country without having to shove diamonds up their crack. All right, that isn't a good thing. We don't want that. NFT, LV, Las Vegas, Biomex, Junkies, and the Monkeys, the Shanks, and the Banks. I like that. Yeah, we're going to have a good time in Vegas. Ought to be a good time. All right, Wall Street Journal article about Binance. I actually saw this yesterday, and I purposely didn't want to cover it because it read like an article from 2021, 2022, 2018. It read like all the articles. Zero new information. Wall Street Journal spread FUD about Binance again. CZ immediately responded. This newspaper declared Sam Bankman-Fried a hero. So the paper that declared Sam as a hero is saying Binance is in trouble. In the news published, they claimed that Binance was beginning to collapse. Their sources based the claim on an unnamed source. So we have an anonymous source and claim that Binance's other founder, Yi He, saw one of his internal messages. According to Wall Street Journal's alleged source, Yi He issued the following message to company employees. She
You have to
stated,
say it like Michael Jackson.
Hmm?
You have to say it like,
Yee.
yee.
That's pretty good. She seems like a smart person, though. Every war is a make or break situation. The only thing that can defeat us is ourselves. All right, Churchill. We have won countless times, and we need to win this time, too. All right, put me on a horse and put me in the trenches with a bayonet. CZ responded to the claims without delay. He shared the article in which Sam Bankman-Fried, or Scam Bankman-Fried, the founder of the FTX, who was accused of fraud and just not being a willing participant in a polycule, was declared the hero of the industry by Wall Street Journal before they went bankrupt, and said the owner of the allegations was a source that should not be taken into account. CZ and Binance has a really good security team. This statement right here said the owner of the allegations was a source that should not be taken into account. Do you think they know the anonymous whistleblower?
Yeah, I would imagine.
I think they do too. I think they do too. They're largely seen as the Binance security team is, I'm not an expert in this field, but from what I've understood, smart people have said they are leaders in the industry when it comes to Web3. So I would not discount Binance's security team.
Yeah.
Probably stronger than your Discord mod. All right. In addition, he stated the SBF news in question is still up on the web and share the link to this news. This is not investment advice, they said. But yeah, I would say, staying away from FTX That is investment advice. All right. This new newspaper declared them a hero. What are your thoughts on Binance FUD in general?
So when you hear the FUD the first time, again, you had to be a little bit curious, a little afraid. You had your suspicions, but then when they defeated that, and then they defeated another one, and then they defeated another one, it's one of those things. It's like you cannot believe any accusation against Binance until actual evidence is ever presented. And to this day, I have not seen one shred of evidence backing up what they have always been accused of. So it's one of those things. It's like, all right, is it possible that the Binance is doing something wrong? It is possible. But until you actually get them on one of the things you accuse them of, SEC, CFTC, whoever else is going after them, you got to go ahead and side with Binance, because they've literally proven themselves over and over and over and over.
Well, they've proven themselves to be Chicken Little at this point. The mainstream media has proven themselves to be Chicken Little, because they've told me 87,000 times that the sky is falling.
Yes.
I keep looking up, and the sun's still there, the moon's still there, the clouds are still there.
And you just see a good picture of CZ holding up 4 fingers.
Yes.
That's all you ever seen.
Although, depending on knowledge creation, do you want to look at, well, the sun comes up every day. Is that evidence that it comes up tomorrow? No. Real answer is no. Science is just good explanations. That's not a good explanation.
Well, to be fair, the sun never comes up.
Catch them all has a fantastic question for
Does the
Atlanta
sun come
native.
at all?
Are you a young Jeezy type of guy or a Gucci Mane type of guy? I have swapped, but I'm a team Jeezy guy, and Gucci Mane, I don't think it's a clone, by the way. Hey, thanks for doing all that you do. Super appreciate your wisdom. Saying that to Delay. I don't know who Delay is, but Delay, I appreciate you too. Jess Jim, word of the day, tantamount. Okay. CMG, I buy my ADA from Walmart. Well, it's right next to the Pudgy Penguins. Yeah, you go to the Play-Doh section, you make a Claymate, and then you pretend you're buying some ADA there. All right, let's talk about ETH here and ETH revenue, and what they did in 10 years and how it's unlike anything that's ever happened in the tech sector. We're talking about Ethereum hit $10 billion in revenue faster than Facebook, Microsoft, and Zoom. 7.5 years to reach $10 billion in annual revenue. Of course, we're talking about the ETH fees being burnt up. So who is number one? Okay, so it looks like there is one winner. One person beat them, and it's Google. Okay, I think if anyone's going to be Google, you get a little pat on the back, Google. A lot of that is probably due to how quickly did they buy YouTube, BJ?
Oh, that I don't know.
It was pretty quick, I want to say.
My guess is 08.
Yeah, and also they didn't raise too much money, if I'm not mistaken, too. So a lot of it is owned by the company. All right, so we got ETH record pace to
2006 October 9th.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I was living with my girlfriend's family at the time, and her brother had super strong autism. He was like major Asperger's, and so it was always like just a struggle to kick him off the early YouTube. I wanted to watch a thing. All right, let's talk about ETH staking as well. It's part of the reason we're seeing this revenue so high. ETH staking doubles in a year. Investors are flocking to proof of stake here. The amount of ETH being staked witnessed a significant surge, doubling in just a year to about 25% of all available Ether currently staked, up from 11% a year ago as of September 22nd. So we're seeing we've gone from 11% to 25%. So about 1 in 10 ETH to about 1 in 4 ETH. I would say that's a pretty good jump right there. Lido DAO is dominant here. While Lido's dominance was evident, other entities such as Figment and Rocket Pool also marked their growth in the staking space. So we got it's becoming slightly more decentralized, but guys, it could pull a Bitcoin, and where you end up having an F2 pull, end up being just like a little too big for you to feel comfortable. But you know what? You're going to ignore it, and you're going to keep buying ETH and Bitcoin anyways.
I mean, isn't that Lido?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Lido is essentially the F2 of.
Oh no, I completely agree.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just see. Okay, Wilma, that's just a little much. Okay, we're gonna keep that one hidden. Still talking about Chef and his delicatessen treats from South Park, of course. CBD just won't. Well, you guys stream on Rumble. Do we have any Rumble plans?
That's something I've definitely been kind of considering. I want to talk with the team here about what we do. But yeah, I think that's something definitely down the road that we might try to multi-stream onto Rumble.
Yeah. I will say this, CBD, we have no hard feelings over here. It's just, it's unfortunate when people were forcing sides. We don't want to do anything like that. All right. Last thing on the ETH revenue here. We got to talk about Chainlink a little. I have it where I must talk about Chainlink twice a week. Chainlink extends cross-chain protocol to Coinbase's base. I mean, I think this is an inevitability. I don't think anyone saw this not happening. So Chainlink, I would say, is bullish for both projects. I think Base is going to be around. I don't know if it can surpass Polygon in market cap, but I can see it passing the IMXs and some of the smaller L2s out there. So the announcement added that projects including Raft, Nuon, Folks Finance, Polychain Monsters, among others, are all already integrating CCIP on Base. So CCIP is going to be a lot of different places, and this kind of ties it to this story. Bank of International Settlements head urges cooperation, creating interoperable CBDC rule set between nations. If that were to happen, in my opinion, is going to be with SWIFT and CCIP. So don't sleep on Chainlink, folks. I know maybe too bullish on it, but I am pretty bullish on when it comes to value. I don't see many protocols matching their value. I think it's time to talk about the Walmart's Pudgies here. All right. Pudgy Penguins debut in Walmart as NFTs corner the retail sector. They continued its unstoppable march through the retail sector with an incredible partnership with Walmart. Now, Pudgy fans can purchase physical merchandise in 2,000 stores across the U.S., while holders of the NFTs will receive a share in the profits. CEO Luca Netz, those that don't know, he bought Pudgy Penguins, I believe, for $2.5 million of his own money. And then what he has done in the past 12 months has just been nothing short of phenomenal. He revealed that each penguin involved in the initiative has licensed its IP from the pool of original NFTs. Therefore, owners of the corresponding tokens will reap the rewards every time its likeness is sold. In addition, Luca referred to the Walmart arrangement as the conclusion of Season 1 of Pudgy Toys, adding that Season 2 will swiftly follow. So if you're a holder of one of those ones that are in the toys, you are feeling great. Pudgy Penguins actually increased after the news. Normally in NFT news, you get a bullish announcement, price dumps. But so this was just a good reversal. Makes me think NFT markets are maybe on the come up. It's effectively capped off a bear market defying period for Pudgy Penguins, has seen it overtake fellow NFT superstars D-Gods and Azuki. Yeah, I'm very bullish on the team. I think they're doing a great job. And the Walmart thing makes me think of Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast said something in an interview about a week or two ago, and they're asking him, it was at the All-In Summit, which me and Nick are going to go to next year. We're going to manifest it. Mr. Beast spoke at the All-In Summit, and he said, to really reach everyone, sure, it's great to do it digitally, but if you want to do it physically, you got to get in Walmart. And he talked about the amount of people that walk inside a Walmart every month. I think it's roughly 100 million or 180 million people walk inside a Walmart every month. So over 100, we're talking about 9 figures people walk into Walmart every month. So if you really want to get in front of everybody, get inside a Walmart. Pudgy Penguins did that. Very, very bullish for them. Let's see. What do we
When was the last time you went into a Walmart?
I don't go in Walmart that often. I shop primarily Costco, and my fiance does the shopping. So she goes to Target and Publix. So I went to a Walmart once for a quick thing, and I've been once in the past 6 months.
I don't think I've been to a Walmart in a couple years. My wife definitely found Amazon, and then we have a Kroger and a Publix we kind of alternate going to for grocery shopping. Yeah, the last time we had to walk into a store to purchase something that wasn't food, I think she went to the mall like a couple weeks ago. I haven't been to a mall in years either. Everything just online.
Yeah, a lot of people are just moving online. Moving online these days. All right, one more NFT story. The man who bought 100 crypto punks before they were famous, NFT collector Dan Polko, bet big. Now he's taking inspiration from 19th century art collectors. That is not an actual punk, I don't think. It looks like alien skin with the orange goatee. I don't know if that's an actual punk there. There's only 9.
Taco?
There's only 9 aliens. I don't think that's one of the 9. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. French native discovered CryptoPunks just a few days after their first release. After reading an article, I remember reading about them in Reddit and just thinking like, yeah, look at that scam. I used the ETH that I bought for less than $10 as they were the equivalent of 300. It was like buying a lithograph in an art gallery. By October, November, I started to accumulate. I bought 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and I couldn't stop. Over the next 4 to 5 months, he acquired 100. Twitter was the catalyst. I began using my CryptoPunk as my profile picture. There are old timers like Snowfro and many others who have since disappeared. Snowfro with the white. Anyways, it was surreal, he told Decrypt. I grew up listening to icons like Dre and Snoop, and now I'm seeing Snoop flaunting a CryptoPunk on his social profile. So yeah, he was a early believer, and the priciest he sold one for 95 ETH. The
Wow.
purchaser was the same person who bought a punk for 24 million. He bought a few all priced between 80 and 90.
Oh, goodness.
Good stuff there. Although he sold 42, he still has 58. He is a believer. He's a believer. I'm a fan of that guy. All right, and now we got. I'm just going to pass the mic over. How do you want to do this, Nick? We got the writer strike. I want you to go over the stories and then just give your take. All right, those that don't know, I'm gonna set you up here. Nick is in the Writers Guild. He's been in the Writers Guild for years now. He has 2 Super Bowl commercials under his belt. He's worked on TV shows. He's worked on movies, and he even has his own little home script that I think he's going to finance and make in the next 10 years. I'm looking forward to doing that. And when he does, I want to be a financer. Nick, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much, sir. Gosh, it's good to be. Is this my first time on Discover Crypto?
Nick's in shoes and I'm barefoot. Okay, he's not taller than me.
Oh man, yeah. So actually, I'm going to fund that movie in the next 3 years.
Okay.
So
Hey.
just watch that. But so the Writers Guild strike is kind of over. Asterisk. We have to vote on this. So they have a proposal. So far, what I've read is it's really good. A lot of it has to do with just things getting more even on the compensation area. And you may be asking yourself, before we get into the AI part, you may be saying to yourself, well, these writers, they're all just rich Hollywood elites anyway, blah, 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 blah. Well, no, I think the average pay for a writer is about $20,000 a year, maybe even a little bit higher than that, but not much. There's like the upper echelon. There's that 1% of writer like Craig Mazin and John August and those guys who make, millions and millions and millions. But most of the journeyman writers, they're making, low or high 5 figures, low 6 figures. And that's just how they're just getting by. And they've been getting screwed hand over fist, especially by streaming companies for the past, 10 years. So this is all very good.
The fist.
What?
You said hand over fist. They're just getting the fist.
They're just getting the fist. Yeah. All the way to the elbow.
Hell yeah.
So what happened today or yesterday, Writers Guild Tuesday announced its decision to end its strike after agreeing to a tentative deal with the AMPTP earlier this week. Last 148 days. The Screen Actors Guild is still on strike. So
Is that Joey Fatone?
Joey Fat One?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, somebody else.
No, so Screen Actors Guild is still on strike. They have a big thing against AI too, AI-generated people. So we're going to get down here. On Sunday, WGA announced that they had reached tentative agreement for the MBA, minimum basic agreement, with the MPTP. Union leadership hailed the deal as exceptional. Well, I haven't read it yet, so I can't agree. But with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of the membership, in its statement, the Guild thanked its, not every sector. That's annoying. In its statement, the Guild thanked its 11,500 strong membership for generating leverage with their participation in the work stoppage. Yeah, it's been pretty tough. So they're getting pay raises, which are kind of inconsequential, especially if you live in California, which many of them are moving to Nashville and Austin. WGA has been on strike since May with SAG-AFTRA. Okay, do we actually get into the AI part? No, for some reason we've skipped that. So one of the sticking points for this thing is not just all of the money that the writers have been getting screwed from, is AI screenwriting. Now, AI screenwriting is kind of a thing that kind of works and kind of doesn't, because what is AI? AI is just, or when it comes to, what is AI when it comes to content? AI is just one giant plagiarism machine, okay? It doesn't have any creative thought on its own. It's all just pulling from the models that it has pulled from in the past. So that became a thing that was a sticking point. Like, not only would the studios use AI they're proposing using AI to write and do outlines and do rewrites, but the AI is pulling from all of these smart people's work over the past literally 200 years of filmmaking. Who's going to get credited with all that stuff? If ChatGPT or Bard or whatever pulls from someone else's screenplay in their large language model, that person should be compensated, because the AI is just kind of spitting out things that it has already learned about before. So that was the main sticking point with AI. What they've come to an agreement with is that AI cannot be used by studios to make any content. It cannot be used by a screenwriter to make any deliverable, but it can be used by a screenwriter only for outlining and some research, like asking ChatGPT, hey, when was the last time that purple t-shirts were in fashion? Something like that. You can use AI to do research, but you can't actually do it to do a deliverable product that is under the MBA. Now, the studio can hand them work that is made by an AI, but it must be disclosed. Famously, there was 3 months ago, Sarah Silverman, I think won a lawsuit or had a lawsuit with her and a bunch of other creators saying, hey, look, we know that ChatGPT has used Sarah Silverman's work to make its large language model. I should get compensated. And then another judge just a month ago said, hey, all AI work is generative and it cannot be copyrighted. So that's really put the brakes on things. So when you're looking at AI projects or AI content creation, when it especially comes to blockchain, here's how all of this relates to blockchain. Not only is it cool to talk about AI and creative content and stuff like that, AI is almost at its peak in the hype cycle. It's all falling apart right now because of adversarial data. But when you're looking at an AI project, if they're just full lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels on AI copywriting, that AI project is not going to do well because there's a ton of legal problems with creative content and AI. Now, if the AI is coming up with a way to track logistics or to improve medical procedures or to fix architecture or I don't know, let's do some AI. Wouldn't it be crazy if we actually used AI to fix traffic?
Yeah, but we're going to go on strike because then that's somebody's job that takes 4 of them to move a stick out the road.
The light switches are going to go. The stoplights are going to go on strike.
Yeah.
One of those. So look at the project. Look at why they're creating their AI project, and if it has anything to do with something in the creative arts, no one's going to put a bunch of VC money into that right now. That's my takeaway from this.
Yeah.
I'm bullish on AI being used to help and say short circuit things that are just needlessly complicated. But as far as AI taking over and AI being the future of everything, and AI is going to put millions of people out of work, that is, those same people didn't do their due diligence when they were investing in FTX. That's all I got to say about it.
You know what I'm not bullish on though, Nick, with this writers' strike being over, the rumors that they're going to try to redo The Office or relaunch The Office.
Yeah.
That would be the worst thing that's happened to me in the last couple of years.
I mean, no one who would watch it. No one.
Not
would
a
care.
single person, but it would ruin everything that had been built before. Like if we had a woke Office show,
yeah,
it would break my heart. It would break my heart.
What if they pull a Marvel and just make a multiverse?
Yeah, retcon.
An Office
yeah.
There's already 2 of them.
Yeah, that would actually be. See, this is the one way I'd watch
The Office multiverse.
If they relaunched it, have you seen the articles about all the people that they were the early favorites to play Michael and Dwight? And if they recast the show with the original people that they originally wanted, I might get. Even if it was woke, I might
Wait,
get.
I have
it.
a slogan. So if we're gonna have an Office multiverse, it's just
don't.
The Office is a multiverse. I had it was better. I'm out.
Yeah. Also, don't let the UK do it again.
No, life is just a cubicle. That's
we are
what it
on
was.
the dumbest timeline.
Tangent.
We're on the dumbest timeline. If we, to be perfectly honest, though, and I know the show goes off the rails whenever I'm up here, I'm really looking forward to the Golden Bachelor. I'm gonna watch the hell out of that show.
No, I
pull up the Golden Bachelor.
It's literally
Guys,
the Bachelor for like 50-year-olds.
No, the dude is 72.
Oh, okay.
72-year-old bachelor. Bachelorettes ranging from 55 to 75.
Goodness gracious.
If that's not quality TV, I don't know what is, Nick.
I don't think you know.
I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. I want to check that out. All right. Let's I think it's time for the X Minute, everybody. Thank you for making it this long. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. Folks, all right, let me, I know I hit refresh, but I want to hit it one more time just in case. I have a couple tweets I want to share, nothing too crazy. One, make sure you're following ATB Daily. Make sure you check out Rodney. Rodney's putting out a lot of great content. Eric did a great job. Doug came in late, but better late than never. Also did a great job. Will you let the Tesla Optimus robot in your home? What about taking care of an elderly relative?
You want to get that mic closer to your face?
Oh yeah.
There
Sorry,
you
it
go.
was on short. It was on Nick Tater size. But yeah, this will be 8 billion Tesla. What about the day? All right, so Elon has a vision. These humanoid robots. There will be more of these robots than humans on Earth. How do you guys feel about that?
Can I date them?
I believe with an extra $10,000 software patch, and it makes it soft where it counts.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm a no-go on that one. Although there are some humans in this world that make life difficult, I'm a fan of humans as a species. I'm bullish on them, and I don't really
Are you
ascribe to
bullish
the
on
thought
centaurs?
of overpopulation. I've listened to a lot of debates on this. I'm a big fan of. I think that actually we're having a population crisis, meaning there's a lot of countries where the population is dying off.
Yeah, there's population collapse coming
And
for sure. It's
I'm
just 10, 20 years from now,
I'm a
so it doesn't
fan
seem
of-
that big a deal.
I'm a fan of more people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you're having kids, you're saving the globe. Like actually.
Yeah.
Real thing. All right. We went over the McHenry thing. I'll just read his quote. We're devaluing American money so rapidly that in America today, you can't even bribe Democrat senators with cash alone. You need to bring gold bars just to get the job done, just so that the bribes hold value.
Oof.
That's kind of funny.
That's pretty
He
good.
knows his social media, and so that was a biting comment. I thought that was pretty funny. This is from it's from Wolf of Wall Street. Maxine Waters is publicly filleting Gensler on the floor of Congress. You're doing exactly the job that the American people want. Fantastic job. No, it's just the job that people named Maxine Waters and Elizabeth Warren want.
Mhm.
Here's, just people kind of, bringing in the heat here. Our patience is wearing thin. You refuse to be transparent with Congress regarding your interactions with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. Ooh, the scandalous part there. Rand tweeting, this is just one of the leading causes of inflation in the U.S. Retailers add money to the price of your goods to account for theft, shrinkage, and protection here. So when you see looters, ain't nothing bad going to happen. No, your items are going to cost more money in the future. And Philadelphia, get it together, folks. Get it together, Philadelphia. Start patrolling your streets, man.
But I'm telling you, man, Amazon loves these videos because it's a lot more people just going to go to Amazon.
Oh, yeah. So I guess Washington
Look at
Post.
where it's happening, where real estate is so high. This is a great way to crash real estate and basically do what happened during Katrina, where they came in and they bought up all this dirt cheap property and then developed it.
Yeah.
Like that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Catch them all. Be careful. Don't spill anything. The Gates thing, of course, that's not bad. No, of course that's bad. We're just saying one thing about the individual. But I mean, of course that's a bad thing.
Yeah. I don't think there's any support of the individual. The quote was just a funny quote.
It's a good quote.
Anyone could have said it. It would have been funny.
It's like any founding father quote. They're pretty bad people. Depending on how you look at it. Here we have Sam Curry just showing. You got to be careful out there, and how MetaMask. Essentially, it's a long read, but it gives you the lore of how MetaMask is cooperating with authorities. Essentially, he got a subpoena from officers from the IRS and DHS, and it all stemmed from there's a scam wallet, and I think the seed ended up being shared, and so he typed a seed into MetaMask. So there was a scammer's wallet. The drains had been, everything had been drained. The stolen money's gone, but he discovered the seed, so he opened up the same wallet on MetaMask, and they came after him like he was a scammer. And so it's an interesting read there. All right. And Hal Finney predicting $10 million Bitcoin. He divided the world's wealth by 20 million and not 21 million. Did Hal imply that Satoshi would never spend his coins? Can you also say he's implying that he is Satoshi? Just a fun wrinkle to the is Hal Finney Satoshi narrative there. Who knows? And then Army Piper, to what you were saying earlier. This is way too earlier. Talking about the Christmas. That's why I think this is Walmart, right, chat? That's Walmart. Looks like Walmart. Do we know?
I mean, Kmart doesn't
I
exist
think
anymore.
so.
Tim, you haven't been there in years.
Again,
so
yeah.
You're useless here.
Yeah, it's true. Like many things.
Mike Solana, fantastic account to follow. Incredibly, the administration has to prove consumer harm rather than the concept of successful companies simply offends us. So after decades of complaints to the contrary, they decided to argue Amazon charges more than its competitors. Dangerous, unhinged ideologues here that leave shoppers and sellers paying more for worse service. Just saying, you got to be careful with saying, is it monopolistic? Yeah. Is it cheaper? Yeah. So what do you do there? And I don't even know if I should share the political cartoon with Trudeau. Chat, give me a Y or an N. Should we share the Trudeau political cartoon? Let's see. Here, making fun of watch culture. I don't get how cooking is feminine, according to the internet, but collecting watches is masculine. Hey, bro, look at my jewelry. It's shiny, has diamonds, and sparkles like a rainbow bright. None of this makes any sense. It's really silly. I haven't heard that take. Bold take. Does he have pipes? He could sing. This is being underreported, and no one's really talking about this. Sam Altman, the Altman, who's the leader of ChatGPT, AGI has been achieved internally. BJ, for those who don't know, what is AGI?
Like the AI project or which one?
Yeah. Artificial general intelligence.
Yeah.
I thought I was giving you the T there.
The lob.
Artificial general intelligence. AGI is essentially where they start thinking for themselves, where you have this weird thing where they're like, yeah, but once they exceed humans, that's when they can build a better version of themselves, and it creates this infinity loop.
So are they claiming that they can do emergent thought?
Sam Altman,
Because that's
his first comment in 7 years. AGI has been achieved internally. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying that is Sam Altman's first thing in the last. All right, chat wants to see it. I guess we're going to show it here. Voyager's doing something cool. All right, here we go. This is calling all truckers Nazis. Okay, inviting a literal Nazi to parliament. Why would Vladimir Putin do this? I thought that was pretty funny.
This is some
maybe
Project
not invite the
Paperclip going
Nazis. They're saying I don't blame the Congress people there, whatever, the parliament. I don't blame the parliament at all. They just saw the person to the left and person to the right standing, clapping. They thought the guy was, had fought Russians, and they weren't doing the math in their head. They're not that smart, and so they were just clapping. If you were in that room and you didn't understand the context, and no one in that room really knew he was a Nazi, you too would have clapped in their shoes. My question is, Trudeau must have known, though, right? He had a speech. He wasn't just like, oh, they're clapping, I'll clap. He had a speech. So to me, I felt like he had to have known. But I don't blame the other people there. Let's see. Y'all like Boy Meets World TV show? I love Topanga. Topanga met some athlete, and it was like it went viral the other day. I don't know why. I like Mr. Feeney. I'm a Mr. Feeney fan. Skynet. Yes, it is Skynet coming here. Let's just see. Having a top secret base 59 years ago. Who knows? Yeah. Did you ever watch Boy Meets World?
Not a lot. I've seen a couple
young.
episodes here and there. I don't have the whole, I've seen episodes randomly, not the whole storyline.
I was a TGIF fanboy. I liked Urkel at AKA, was that Step by Step? What's Urkel's show called? Family Matters.
Family
I love
Matters.
Family
Yeah,
Matters.
that's
I
a
love
good
Step
show.
by Step. I
Stefan.
love Full House.
Yeah.
I had a crush on the middle child that ended up being addicted to meth later. Sweeney, maybe? Is that her last name?
I
From
don't
It
Full
know.
checks
House?
out based off your ramen story.
The ramen story.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. Hey, she met J. Cole. That's what it was. It wasn't an athlete. It was J. Cole. Looked like it was like in a arena. That's what was making me think about that. I should have known. Okay. People like Topanga, I guess.
Yeah.
Topanga was good.
We're just pointing out all politicians are scummy.
Yes, true. Yeah.
Petty as hell. Hey, Digital Citizen, aka Chris DZ, killing it. Thank you very much. You know what I want you to do? I want you to kill that like button at home. I want you just squeeze it down and just hit that like button just one time for me. Don't be afraid to hit the like button. I think I just got to end on that one. We got about 10 minutes over. It's been a great episode. Folks, you've been great. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around this long. Thank you for hitting that like button. If you haven't done it, what are you doing? It doesn't cost you anything to make you feel better at the end of the day. So please go ahead and do it. Easy out.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.